Did you go get another donut?
No! I went to go blow my nose.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The Tea with Crema. My name is Chris, and I'll be one of your hosts today, and I'm joined by my best friend, Emma.
What up, y'all?
We are super excited because we have a guest on our episode today coming back from the Wilson family. Woo-hoo. Give a round of applause for Brian Wilson.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
We have Brian on today just because something that Emma and I are super curious, super passionate about is learning the ins and outs of like small businesses, really. Figuring out how they work, especially because sometimes Emma and I have ideas about potential small businesses. And sometimes we learn they're not very practical when we talk to people who have actually done small businesses.
Sometimes we just dream about leaving our 9-to-5s and, this is like great dreaming for us to do. And then we like to find out that it's not going to work. But that's okay. We like to dream.
Well, as long as the research is done, you can start up something.
See, so this is part of our research process. We're talking to people who have done it before.
Understood.
Because, that's kind of what we did with the podcast. We ran with it. It's been fine. But before we begin our episode, we're going to do a beverage check. So, Emma, what tea did you bring today? Because that's your 2022 challenge, is to bring a tea to all the episodes.
And I brought a tea, okay? So get off of me. I brought it's from that same bag, like that same box that I had that has all the black teas in it. So this one's a Earl Grey today. So far, it's so good. But I think that's also because I had a donut with it. So the donut really helped to offset it. So
we saw the donut.
You don't have to put me on like that, Brian. No one had to know that you saw it. It was delicious, and that's all that matters.
It looked very good.
Saw, past tense. It is no longer with us.
It is gone. It is devoured, and that's fine. Okay. So
wait, who's the brand? Who's the brand for this one? Is it Spooka?
No, it's Ahmad Tea London.
Oh, okay, cool.
I got it from Amazon fresh.
Okay, that works.
It's one of those.
Oh my god. Okay, well today I have a Cozy Cloud chai. So I realized pretty recently that I actually like chai teas. They're a little spicy and they just kind of work. And I've learned those are the types of teas that you put milk into. So that's been an interesting experience. But this one is different because it's a green chai as opposed, like most chais that I've had are like black tea based chais. So this one's a green chai, a little lower on the caffeine, and it does have cardamom, cinnamon, almond, and pistachio. So I've really liked this one because I will say it still does have the chai spice to it. But it's nicer because it's, again, a low caffeine kind of beverage for the end of the day. Woohoo! Brian, what are you drinking today?
So I'm not as fancy as you guys, and I don't drink tea unless it's iced sweet tea. So I'm drinking, straight from Walmart, a Corona Premier beer.
Wow! Let's get that sponsorship at Walmart.
It is Corona Premier. It is one of the low-carb beers that they have.
There we go. Yes. We love a low-carb option. And for anyone who's watching, their macros, this is how you guys can still drink your beer.
There you go. It is only, let me call it out, it is only 2.6 carbs.
Wow!
Yes.
See, this is all still shocking. I didn't learn that alcohol in any form had calories until an embarrassing late stage of my life. So when people are like, low-carb beer, I was like, what? It had carbs?
There's calories in
definitely this? Beer has carbs, Chris. Definitely. It's made with wheat and barley.
Well,
Chris is out
shows
here
how much I knew.
he was drinking vodka and all the things. I was like, there's no way that has any calories in it. There has to be 0 sugar.
Zero everything.
0 everything.
0 regards. That
so
was
what do you
me.
think? What did you think was in it?
I thought it was like water. There was nothing.
Fermented water.
Oh gosh.
That was me. That's what I thought it was. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I'm pretty sure you're not alone.
You know, I'm out here educating people so they don't stroll up talking to people like, ooh, no calories. Okay. All right. Well, we will begin our episode today. And we're super excited because, again, this is a small business exploration episode. And when I talk about someone that like truly took their small business, like from startup to like it's fully functioning, like the dream type small business ideal, it's Brian. Because I mean, I'll let you tell the whole story, but truly, like I find it very inspirational.
Thank you.
Just because like to hear that things that work out, it's not as common. And so it's just really nice. And so you're here to talk about your business, which is, if I'm not mistaken, called Wilson's Lawn Care, correct?
Yes, it is.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, we're super excited. And then just kind of before we jump into all that part, just out of curiosity, what is your connection to the tea with crema? How would you find out about us to end up on this podcast of all podcasts?
So my connection to tea with crema would be my wife, Shamaine, who you all have had on the show before, who also has her own small business. Plug Ivy Grace Boutique, please. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But I met Chris through my wife, who is a teacher. She ended up teaching with Chris. Met Chris one time, I think, at the school. And since then, you know, we've, of course, crossed paths a few times. And then I met Emma at the movies at Coyote Drive-In.
Yep.
And honestly, I cannot remember what movie we were seeing that night, but I met her and her boyfriend, Isaac, at the time. And then, from there, you know, it's just kind of been, hey, your episode's upcoming. So I've been kind of waiting to get on here and see what I can let the people know about my small business.
Yes. And okay, I'm sorry, but I love that you just plugged your wife on here. Can we always get some supportive partners on here, y'all?
Oh, absolutely.
They both have small businesses, and you heard him. He said, plug Ivy Grace really quick, you know, let my wife get her coin too.
I'm constantly sharing all of her posts and everything on Facebook just to try to get the name out there. So
yes,
absolutely, you have to support your partner. So
exactly.
That should go without saying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, should, but and anyway. In any case, our first thing is really just figuring out, like, what was your inspiration? Like, what really got you, interested in wanting to start a small business, and then kind of helped take it from that idea to something tangible and real?
So I guess there's a 2-part answer to that. First part being, I've always been interested in the landscaping, lawn service business, even as a small kid. So I was about 12 when I began working with my Uncle Jim, we'll call him that. And he, you know, he picked me up on summers and, you know, showed me the ropes as far as ins and outs of, you know, just the craft itself, you know, from top to bottom, whether it be mowing, edging, or doing tree work, trim work, and also just being able to interact with customers too. He made sure that I was always able to speak with them and, you know, about their lawn or just meeting them, shaking their hands or whatnot. And fast forward to, I think it was 2011, we had bought our first home, and I think I purchased a truck, and I was like, hey, you know, I'm just going to go and get a few yards. My off days at the time working for Pepsi were Friday and Saturday. And I began to get a few yards. I think I ended up with about 9, and it wasn't anything that I wanted to do full time. It was just something for some extra money. Mm. And so that business was called Easy Cuts.
Like, yes. Okay,
like,
yep.
Easy, like actually.
Oh, easy. Oh, got it. Okay,
yes.
I see it.
Please don't. So that business folded because I traded in my truck because I was driving to my route for work every day into Louisville. Gosh. So the gas was just, you know, going to Louisville, coming back home, and then mowing grass. So I said, hey, you know, I got to do something else. So truck's gone, business gone, Easy Cuts shuts its doors, right?
Goodbye, easy cuts.
Yes, no more easy cuts. And we're going to fast forward again to 2019, and Shamaine comes to me, and, she's pregnant, guys, and I'm like, whoa. So we're looking at daycare for 2 small children,
Oof.
and of course, along with all of our other bills. And I said, well, I'm going to have to do something else, because at the time my wife wanted to get another job, and I didn't want to have to do that. So I struck out, got my lawnmower, and said, hey, I'm going to see what I can do again. And we didn't name it Easy Cuts this time, guys.
That was, you know what? We learned from our mistakes the first time.
Yes, we did. I had the decal on the back of my truck and everything. Easy Cuts. I really did. But so we fast forward and we go about the business again and just trying to get some extra money we're thinking about daycare. So, unfortunately, Shamaine loses that baby short after that. And it's, of course, a trying time for her and I, as far as our relationship and our emotions and everything are just going from one end of the spectrum to the other, as anyone could imagine. But I didn't let that deter me from continuing to still provide more for my family. So I kept going. So the other side of the coin was still me being able to feel like I was providing, but also diving into something to feel like I could put my emotions elsewhere, to kind of be strong for Shamaine, but still, I was sad, but I kind of dove into the business and began to build it and still working a full-time job as well. So it was just something for me to stay busy, to not feel like we would both be bogged down with emotions. So it was kind of a, two-sided coin to continuing the business. So as far as inspiration goes, which is the original question, it's many inspirations, even from being a young boy with my uncle and then striking out with Easy Cuts. But then just inspiration behind, Shamaine coming to me saying we're about to have our 4th child. And it was more so out of, I guess, inspiration as well, but out of necessity, at the time. So.
Well, I did not realize that there had been a first iteration with Easy Cuts. That is.
It had the sticker and everything. There was decals. Decals were made.
I was like, Wilson's Lawn Care has stickers now, if I'm not mistaken.
I have not put a decal on either vehicle now at this point.
Oh, come on. We gotta have a Wilson's Lawn Care.
I do have a Wilson's Lawn Care banner on my trailer, but as far as on my personal vehicle, I do not have any decals yet. I do plan on making myself one, though.
There you go. Yet. That is the power of yet. And then don't forget to send some to the Tea with Crema, so we'll put it on our stuff too. Even though I'm in Japan, and I don't know if anyone has lawns here.
I can't mow that far.
But it's there.
Yeah, you're right. Never know how far it could take you, right?
Exactly. This one will become international. It's Wilson's Care International, Lawn Care International,
That would be crazy.
So getting started with Wilson's Lawn Care and the various iterations that we've learned about today, what would you say have been like some of the challenges? Because again, this is taking something from your thoughts to your brain and making it real. What are some challenges that you faced in that process?
I would say the most challenging thing has been, or in the beginning was, of course, building clientele. Of course, I've always viewed mowing one yard as your resume or your first impression to the neighbor across the street or next door. So it's like, I'm here at this address, but the rest of these people are looking at my work. So I try to always make sure my work backs up what I'm saying. So in the beginning, it would be building clientele, but somewhere in the mix in there has been equipment, which a lot of people kind of just feel like, oh, you go buy a lawnmower, you can mow grass and you'll be fine. But, it's not really that simple. So it's equipment you need. It's things that you have to have. It's everything from what you wear. So for me, it's not just your lawn equipment. It's your shoes, your clothes. It's everything. So it was the biggest part, or one of the big parts for me was a struggle of what am I going to put on my feet? What am I going to wear and things like that. So I guess it would be building clientele and just having the equipment you need to be successful.
And I don't think people realize, like, the upkeep and the maintenance of the equipment that you're using, that's expensive. Like, it's one thing to be able to afford it, and then it's one thing to be able to, continue to maintain and upkeep, because this is now, a main thing.
Exactly.
Especially, and then working in Texas in the summertime, oh my goodness. Like, cannot imagine, like, then you have to try and stay cool on top of, like, making sure you're still protected because you're still working with heavy machinery.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Ooh,
yeah, that was
nerve.
something else. Am I going to wear long sleeves? Am I going to wear short sleeves? So it's equipment as a whole was just something that was a challenge for me. So not just a lawnmower and I'm walking behind it. It's more to it.
Yeah.
Do you have one of those Camelback water bottle backpacks? I've always been curious.
I do not. I do not. What is that, actually? Is that something?
Like, like a water bladder?
I see some of, like, the runners or bikers. They have those. Is that what those are?
Yeah, and they're just like...
There's like a little tube.
Yeah, and it's just like a little backpack, and they just like drink the little tube. I'm like, why are you like this? Like,
that may be something I might look into. I've seen them. I've never thought to even get myself one. I'm always worried about ice and ice chest and water, but I've never thought to put one on my back. That might be something.
There you go.
I can't imagine it would stay cold, but I
mean, I could pour cold water in it.
Yeah. It always just seems so, like you wouldn't have to stop doing anything. It's just like right there. I don't know. I've never used one. I've only ever seen them, but
we're just making you more efficient and hydrated. That's all.
And efficiency. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. Efficiency is also something I struggled with in the beginning as well. To not be at a lawn longer than you're supposed to, so it's every lawn's different, but efficiency is something I struggled with in the beginning, just not having the equipment that I have now. So that's something else.
What has been your favorite part then? Because I don't know, the challenges are fun, but also there got to be some favorite parts and things that you just really enjoy.
I just enjoy mowing lawns, period. Everything from when you leave a lawn and you drive by it again, or if the neighbor next to him say, man, hey, can you do this for me? And that's one of my favorite points. But I will say I'll jump ahead to my favorite aspect of this business now was when I left my job in July to really pursue what I'm doing full time. So that has been my favorite part of it all, to be honest. So to get up and know that when I leave and when I come back, I've done that for me and my family, and I haven't lined anyone else's pockets but mine and my household. So that's been my favorite part.
Yes. Was that something that you had always envisioned, like eventually leaving your old company, or was this kind of like, you know what, this is it? Like we're just gonna jump in full, and do all the things. Like
it really did not click to me until the 2021, so last season, basically, when I did leave. Because 2019, it was just more of, let me see what I can do to get us some extra money. In 2020, it was like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. It's a lot of extra money. We can do this, we can do that. And, it wasn't until the beginning of 2021 season when I was like, man, if I can get, this, it's more than I'm making here, and I'm only working 8 or maybe 9 months out of the year. So why not pursue it? Yeah. And it didn't click until like mid season of 2021. And I was like, man, you know what, babe, talking to Shamaine, it's like, look, if we can make it make sense, or I guess I should back up. If I can make it make sense to her, then, this could be possible. And it was numbers I had to put together of how many, clients I would actually really need to sustain being off in the off season. And, and it was just, we had to put pen to paper and figure it out. And lo and behold, I mean, it happened. So I'm really excited about this upcoming season.
That's so exciting. It's like almost like you had to go on Shark Tank, Shamaine. Like, okay, so this is my offer. Do you counter?
Yes, and I can tell she was I shouldn't say very. She was a little apprehensive at first because she's like, wait, you're not going to work how many months possibly out of the year? And and how much do you really think you can make? And I never took it as she didn't believe in me. I took it as her having concerns, which is natural. And I couldn't, it was never to a point where I felt like she didn't believe in what I was saying. I just think she needed to understand it more and realize where I was at that time in my professional career and then my entrepreneurial career as well. So.
That's amazing.
Because it's a lot to leave a big company like that. Because I can imagine, my head, me being the terrified person that I tend to be sometimes, just all of the thoughts that I would have of just because it's not just the salary part. There are the benefits and the retirement and just even though benefits, what a scam. Anyways,
insurance, what a scam. Why is it so expensive? And you got a whole family. Like, no, I cannot.
Yeah. Bamboozled, scammed, not about it. But just all of the things that, I don't know, it just, whew.
Oh, it was scary.
It's happening. Like, you did it and like, it works. It's really planned out. That's why, again, it's inspirational to be able to take that leap and to make sure that it's working, it's doing those things. And then I think the biggest thing is just knowing that like you're working for you and for your family, not necessarily.
Yeah, that's been my favorite part.
I like it. Like that's the thing. I want to eliminate the middleman one day.
I hope you're able to. I really
do. So especially now with Wilson's Lawn Care being like the full-time gig, how do you find that balance between the business pursuits, the business life, and then your personal life?
It was rough because when I left in July, I left Pepsi with, I think it was 57 to 60 customers. That's when I left. And, Shamaine ran me an ad, but I knew what I needed. So as far as work life or family life balance, from 60 customers in July when I left my job to ending the season with almost 90 in October.
Wow.
There was a huge difference between what I was able to do as far as spend time with my family. So it got to the point where it was only weekends that we really spent time together. And that to me was, I guess, rough because, the kids are getting older and you want to spend time with them. And of course we have Mason, but you look back and you're like, yeah, I built a business or I'm building a business, but what am I missing out on? So it's still been rough because I haven't put an entire season together because last year I was working for Pepsi. So this year I've tried to really, of course I'm still going to be Monday through Friday with my business. They'll still have those times on the weekend, but I'm just going to try to carve out more time, whether it be after I'm back home from mowing and, cause I am tired, but I don't think that's an excuse. Cause I mean, you do make time for the things that you want to do, the things that are important. So I think, to answer the question, it's rough and I'm looking forward to see how I can balance it this year. With being full time.
Which I guess is also, I would imagine, surprising to some people. I know for me, because you would think like it's your business, thusly your hours. Mm-hmm. But like it doesn't actually pan out to be all that way all the time. Like you still, especially with like a clientele based business, like there's a certain part of you have to have a predictable schedule for your clients. So that they know those bounds in the same way. So no one's able to ask you for, a late night job or a Sunday job because they know that's not when you operate.
Yeah.
But I would also imagine like if I just, one more yard today or one more yard on the weekend, like.
Been there.
But you can one more yard away your entire weekend, right? And then there's also there's like, you're bound to sunlight. I mean, I guess you could, if you wanted to go into nighttime as well, but then you're also, like, the elements play into it as well.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I have to be done before it's dark because I can't leave anyone's lawn looking crazy when I'm done.
You're like, I'm going to be back. You're my first yard tomorrow, okay?
Exactly.
I know it looks like it has a mohawk right now, but that's the design. It's trending right now. You just have to kind of get with it.
But I want to touch on something Chris just said. It's funny because I saw a meme or something a couple of days ago. It said, I left my 9-to-5 job at 40 hours a week to be an entrepreneur to work 24/7. It's definitely a struggle sometimes.
You went from 40 hours a week to 80 hours a week, it's tough. It's hard work. Like my parents had a landscaping business when we were growing up and, it was like, it was hard. Like, it was hard work, and a lot of people don't realize that because my mom was able to go to all of our events, but then it was like she would come to our events and then go back to work.
Yeah.
So it's like the work never stops.
I've come home, parked the trailer and went to, award ceremonies or whatever. So yeah, I've done that. So.
And that doesn't even account like the marketing, like all that behind the scenes stuff, what's the finances that you have to do and the billing, all of that. So all that background stuff outside of like doing the actual work. I like it though. One day. I'm not dissing it. One day it's gonna be there. So do you have tips or advice for those who are looking to start out either, something small with their, 9 clientele business and their easy cuts on their truck? For those individuals out there just starting out, not quite ready to call it quits to the 9 to 5.
I would just say don't be afraid to push your limits as far as what you feel you can do. Because there was things that I hadn't done in the business that clients had asked me to do, and I winged it. I either pulled something up on YouTube or I figured out a way to get the job done. So I think starting out, just don't be afraid to accept the work because you have to start somewhere. Second thing, there's going to be so much critique in this business. You cannot take it personal because everyone is different. Everyone likes their yard done differently. So it's like you have to be adaptable to what the customer is asking. And I'm not sitting here saying the customer is always right, but you have to be able to be flexible in how you approach what a customer says to you. So you have to be able to take critique. So, and third thing I would say is you have to be better than the last guy.
That's how you keep building. That's how you keep letting them come back, yes, right?
You have to be better than the last crew because it's always, hey, well, my last crew, they just stopped showing up, or can you do this? My last crew didn't do that. So
somebody just stopped showing up.
Oh, I can't tell you how many clients I've gained from crews that either stop showing up or they come and tell their client, hey, I've gotten too many. I've gotten too big. I can't take your business anymore. Yeah. Because you'll get those crews that have 4 and 5 people or 2 trucks and they feel they can handle 200 or 300 lawns with 8 people. And yeah, it gets time consuming and they can't make all their stops. And as you said, we're bound by daylight. So, a customer's only going to allow you to say, hey, I'll get you tomorrow so many times, before they move on. Yep. So I just say be consistent and, take the work when it comes. Don't be afraid to try things that you haven't done before and just be better than the last guy. That'll be my biggest thing because the business will come, but you have to go and get it as well.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, several nuggets right there.
Yeah, that was like, wow. I was just expecting like 1 nugget, but that was like 4 or 5 nuggets. We go.
I could talk about this business for hours. So yeah, this is definitely
we'll bring you back.
Yeah, I'm more
in the middle of the season, we'll see how you're doing. Check in.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
I mean, I already know you're super busy, but maybe if you can carve out like half an hour, just be like, "This is going great, guys. I love this."
I will not be mowing on the weekend, so I will definitely be available Saturday, Sunday. That's totally fine. But I would love to come back mid-season to really. I guess let you guys know how it's going for my first full season without working at Pepsi, without getting that every Friday paycheck. Oh my goodness.
That's okay. We're manifesting greatness into the universe. So as long as we, blessings will keep on coming down. Yeah. So you talked about how, there's crews that then have like 4 or 5 people, sometimes 8 people. Is that something that you're interested maybe? Like what does a fully realized Wilson's Lawn Care look like for you?
To me, fully invested into the business. It really looks me still being hands-on with the business as far as still working, still mowing, from top to bottom, whatever, but also having maybe one other truck, as us lawn guys like to call it, one other truck in another area to be able to branch out into other areas. But it would really I would have to dive deep within myself to be able to trust someone with my business because I live by one rule and you just have to do the job right. And you don't find too many people that are passionate about doing work like this. I guess if that makes sense, because as you mentioned earlier, it's hot outside. We're in Texas. You just don't get a lot of people that are willing to do it with passion. You get people who want to get a check, who want to get paid, but you don't get people who are willing to do the job with passion. And I don't expect people to be as passionate as I am, but you need some work ethic and everything to do this job. So I'll have to dive deep within myself to be able to really fully get there, to be able to hire people to be in other areas. But I think that's the goal, the end goal, to be able just to have one other truck out there, one other crew, and for me to still, work business as usual, because I'll never be the one to point to you doing something that I won't do. I won't be that boss. Like I'll always be able to work and everything and lead by example.
Yes. So you also said that like in the past, like growing up, you were able to do some landscaping with your uncle as well. Mm-hmm. Do you also include landscaping as part of your current current services that you offer right now? Or is it mostly just kind of like lawn work, or like tell everybody the services that you do as well with Wilson's Lawn Care so we can put you out there?
Okay. So as far as, I guess, landscaping wise, lawn crew, landscaping, everything as a whole, the only thing that I'm unable to do is, the brick borders around flower beds.
Oh,
So that's the only thing that I'm unable to do. But as far as, trimming trees, hedges, mowing, fertilizer, sprinkler heads, anything, I'd like to be as close to a one-stop shop as possible, but without the full landscaping with the brickwork and whatnot, I'm unable to do that now. But that's something I'd like to get into in the future. But at this point, I'm not really interested in doing it, because it is a lot of work. I've seen it done, and it's time consuming. So contracting it out doesn't seem too bad right now.
Yeah.
But, anything else as far as lawn work though, from top to bottom, I can do. So I've taught myself a lot of things and watched a lot of videos on how to maintain a lawn. So yeah, everything else I can do.
There you go. There you have it. One-stop shop. If y'all need anything in Fort Worth. No, which area are you in? What area
I am in the Haslett, Saginaw, Keller, North Richland Hills, and Haltom City area.
There we go. See, so if y'all need your lawn or anything taken care of, your one-stop shop is Wilson's Lawn Care. I just got your jingle for you right there.
One-stop shop. Thank you.
What are some future projects possibly, or maybe even products that you'd like to share with our listeners? Is there anything that's maybe happening or is...
With Wilson's Lawn Care? I don't have any products. I am the product. So, it's just me really. So no, I don't have any products that are up and coming. I don't have any things that are, coming to date or anything. It's just the season is getting ready to start, and I'm really anxious about that. But other than that, no, I am the product. So that's it.
I'm gonna have to get like a merch shop going,
See,
the water bottles and the t-shirts.
Yeah,
and
we
stickers.
put it on the platter.
See, and I've made myself some t-shirts. So I do have some t-shirts that I wear around in Walmart and places like that. And we'll be honest with you. So my neighbor across the street, I take care of his lawn for him, and he has coined me the Lawn Don. Yes. So I did put that on a t-shirt last week on the back, and along with the Wilson's Lawn Care logo on the front. But, it's funny you mentioned merch, because I would like to sell t-shirts to, my customers, but I just don't know if that's, a good idea, I guess. I don't know. Never really kind of kicked it around. Research. I need to do research.
There you go.
See if that'll be something my customers would want to buy.
Put on some hats, because it's so hot in Texas. There you go. There you go.
I do have one hat. Yeah, I will. Yeah. But I would really like to do something with the Lawn Don to see if that can stick. I have actually researched to see if it's copyrighted or copywritten, or however you're supposed to say that. But it's not, so I might do that myself.
You better go get on that.
Mm-hmm. And it's nice because it was given to you by someone else. Like, it wasn't like you just called yourself that. It's like, okay.
Yes.
Not self-proclaimed.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. I was like, man, I'm going to try to make this stick. So it sounds good, and we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, if people are looking for Wilson's Lawn Care, how would they get in contact with you?
So I'm on Facebook, and it is Wilson's Lawn Care 19. You can like the page. You can also call me if you need any free estimates. I will say again, free estimates are provided here at Wilson's Lawn Care. My number is 682-241-0809. Once again, it is 682-241-0809.
Oh my gosh, how exciting. Oh my God. Okay, I hope we can at least we're really going to try to bring you one new client for the 2022 season.
I
Like
hope
that's
so.
the
That's
tea
where it
with
starts.
crema goal.
Yeah.
You know, just one. We got this. We can do this. I don't know many people in that region, but it's fine. We'll figure it out.
I actually don't know many people with houses, so.
Well, you know what? We can maybe sell them some shirts. Maybe they can support from afar.
Yes.
There you go.
Love to support
See?
from afar.
It's gonna happen. All right. So before we wrap up the episode, it's time for our
Rapid fire questions.
Oh no.
All right. Well, Brian, did you want to go first? Did you want one of us to go first? Who would you like to go? Because we all have questions.
Okay, Emma, I'd like for you to go first.
Oh man. Okay, so here is my question for today. Do you think that high school you would be proud of 2022 you?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I would definitely think high school me would be proud of me now because this was never a goal of mine. I never set out to be an entrepreneur. So I think that 16 to 18-year-old me would be proud of me right now. So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Chris?
I'd probably have to really convince myself.
I was like, I feel like high school you was a little dramatic.
It's really cynical, really high standards and expectations. I don't know. I might have to work a little harder. I would try. I would really try, though, to impress myself. We'll see. I don't know.
I think high school with me would definitely be just like really like, girl, you are where? You're doing what? You're a teacher now? You know? So I don't know if they... Yeah, exactly. Like, so engineering didn't work out. That's what I'm hearing. And you know what? I think we always knew it wasn't going to work out, but I would say that I would say that I am proud of myself. You know, I think I would be proud of myself for how far we came. Okay, that was a good question.
That was a good question. Well, I'll get my question out of the way because I don't know if it's going to be great. It might be one of those dud questions like Chris said. So this is more of a would you rather. So listen up. Would you rather live on an island with one Facebook friend or one family member?
I don't even need Facebook friends. You know, I don't even need my family member there either. I'll live there by myself.
That is not an option.
Can I pick which family member I take with me?
Sure.
Okay, I guess I'll take my family member.
Okay, well, who would that family member be?
Oh man, I'm not saying that.
Oh. Yeah, that might get you in trouble, right?
That's gonna throw me under a bus. People are gonna be like, "You're not even take your future husband." I don't know if he can hunt. You know, if Isaac can do all the things, then he might.
I feel like your dad would be. I don't know. I feel like your dad would be really helpful.
Exactly. I think my dad would be too. But then I also think I would get like lectured and yelled at. So I don't know if that anxiety is like worth having him there.
That would be crazy.
Chris, who would you take?
Oh, I'm of the same mindset. Just let me perish on this island by myself without anything. I would probably take a Facebook friend.
I hope your mom beats you up when she sees you.
Mama ain't trying to be stuck on no desert island with nobody. What you mean?
She might feel like Chris did her a favor.
You know,
leave me here.
Thank you for not taking me. Like, I would probably take a Facebook friend.
I will send prayers and blessings to you, but that is about it.
Oh my gosh, I don't think I have a friend in mind, but it just, I don't know. I know my family member or family members, and it just isolate on an island. It's not gonna happen. Mm-mm.
Well, I'm just gonna have to go with a family member as well, Emma. Not saying
and who are you taking?
Not saying who. It's gonna be someone in the family.
Someone who's resourceful, someone who can get everything done. You know, now I'm gonna be starting to check all my family and be like, which one of y'all has the highest survivability rate? Are
you gonna start rating them? That's good.
You know, you never know. You never know.
Yeah, this is true. You never know what could happen.
Exactly. Okay, Chris, what's your question today?
My question is, do you have any scars? And can you give the short synopsis TLDR about where it came from?
Oh my gosh, yes, I actually do have a scar. I fell down a mountain in Colorado.
Oh my!
I was hiking. And I didn't know that there's like a I didn't know that there's like a rule, you know, like a standard rule, like you no. I was going down this mountain and, you know, it was like switchbacks. And so I went with this group that was like pretty experienced, and I didn't think to like pack a backpack. I just had my water bottle in my hand because everyone's like, oh, this hike is so easy. And so, you know, you should always have 3 points of contact with the wall and your legs and whatever. But I was like talking or something, and I think I was like actually taking a picture and was holding my hydro, and I like took a step forward and I slipped. And I like, but in my process of slipping, I was like, oh God, don't break anything. So I like somehow turned my body and like slid down the mountain a little bit. So now I have this ugly scar on my knees from where I fell, because also the pants I was wearing was not proper. So it like completely cut through my yoga pants. But yeah, so I didn't fall off the cliff. I almost did, but I'm okay. Do you have any good scar stories, Brian?
I actually have a scar on my left knee from ACL surgery.
Oh.
Yeah. So actually,
how'd you tear your ACL, or how'd you hurt yourself?
Actually tore it playing basketball. Yeah. Yeah. So
like in high school, or like when you were a little older at the YMCA?
2008. Just pick up games basketball, just messing around, playing some basketball. Wasn't doing anything fancy. Just went up for a rebound and my leg just said, "Not today."
It'd be really nice if we caught you, huh? Just kidding.
Yeah. No, it was actually on the jump, not on the way down. On the jump. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So what caught me was the floor.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So,
Christopher, do you have any scars?
I have more than too many. My biggest one is on my left elbow. And it's, you know, Austin's a really outdoorsy city. And so I was just riding a bicycle and this lady like jumped out in the middle of nowhere, and like we were on a trail and I had a city bike, and so the traction wasn't great. And so like I missed her. I didn't take out the lady, but just like body planted onto the gravel. I should have gotten stitches. My mom sent me a picture of when it happened very recently and I almost threw up on my phone. I should have gotten stitches, but I was in college. I didn't have health insurance, so we just kind of like, I don't know, we kind of super glued it back together. Yeah, it's fine. Like, my arm is together now.
Should have taken out the lady.
That's what I said. I was like, if that ever happened, I'd been like, that was your fault.
You.
It wasn't bad. Are y'all squeamish? She resent it recently.
Let me see it. Oh, Ryan's squeamish. I'm not.
That's not bad.
Yeah, you should have just super glued that. You would have been fine.
Yeah. I did super glue it.
Should have ran
you're
the
fine.
lady over.
It's right there. That's still the scar. It's fine.
I know. I'm still on the whole, let's take out this lady, because, you know, you should be aware of your surroundings when you're running. And bikes will always win. Definitely.
Well, I didn't expect that, like, the reaction was going to be me hitting the ground. I thought I was like, turn, and then I missed the lady, and then wrong bike, wrong cement type. It was just the whole thing. But
I got back up and like threw my bike at her.
I really almost did, because then she kept running, and I was like very clearly on the floor. I was just like,
what a witch!
But what I'm hearing is, y'all's two events, neither one of you seem prepared. You're hiking with yoga pants, trying to take a selfie. You're biking without the right bike. Like, I'm gonna need you to, when y'all go on adventures, to make sure y'all have the right things available.
Yes.
Really get it together.
That was our life lesson, you know, and that's why I've learned from that, and I just don't go hiking anymore.
Oh, wow. I give up.
It's fine. The universe said no.
I'm very form over function. It's fine. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, thank you so much, Brian, for coming on to our episode. We are super glad to have you. We'll do our midsummer. That seems about halfway through the season. Midsummer check-in. See how things are going in your first full season.
Okay.
And with that, Emma, where can people find the podcast?
You can find our podcast on Twitter and Instagram at The Tea with Crema. You can also find us on YouTube now, so don't forget to like and subscribe. If you'd like to buy us a cup of coffee, you can find us on Venmo at The Tea with Crema, and you can also stream our episodes anywhere that you can stream your podcast. We hope to see you next time. Bye!